Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Coffee with Coach Scott. And I just kind of want to rhetorically ask you a question. How was your weekend? How was your maybe days off? How was just, how was your life? All right, today, everybody, if you don't have your coffee yet, man, go get your coffee, get your water, get whatever that you're sipping on. And let's get into it. All right. So if any of you don't know the term or the quote, sharpen your axe, it really is simply saying, work on the things that you need to work on, like work on your weaknesses, right? So Abraham Lincoln really directly comes from a quote from Abraham Lincoln. He says, if, I'm going to cut down a tree, it's going to take 6 hours to cut down a tree. I'm going to spend 4 hours sharpening my axe. Simply this, you guys, I am going to really get prepared. I'm going to really fine tune the areas in my life that I really need to work on. And, it's not going to be easy. That's the thing, is that sharpening your axe is not an easy task. It's not something that everybody is willing to do. Quite frankly, not many people are willing to do. And it's becoming vulnerable also, right? It's actually making yourself vulnerable. And again, nobody likes vulnerability, because what does vulnerability mean? It means you have a weakness. It means you're not good at something. It means you're inconsistent in an area. It means you need help. It means you don't have all of the right answers. It means that you're not the smartest person in the room. It means all of that. And I'll tell you this, you guys, is that the most humble people, and you could probably look at the most humble people around you in your circle, are open, right? They're open to their weaknesses, right? Here's the thing. If you don't have people in your circle that are vulnerable, then I would highly advise you guys to find people that are vulnerable, because it means that they're real, right? It means that, you could probably talk to this person. You could tell them all the areas that you've completely screwed up and that you're not going to get judgment, okay? So that's a big thing on that part too. So sharpening the axe. How do I sharpen my axe? Well, let's start to go through a little bit of a list of you, right? And this is kind of something that I would do, okay? I would say, I'd write down kind of on my little list. I'd be like, all right, so what do I need to get better at, right? What do I need to get better at? And then I'd start to write down that list, 2, 3, 5 minutes, it doesn't really matter, but you start to write that list. What could I get better at? You need to start writing. You're writing and writing until you can't think of something else, right? And then once you identify what you need to get better at, then you pick one of those things and then you make a commitment, right? You make an agreement with yourself that I'm going to start working on this, okay? So common answers that I've heard of as of recent is getting up a little bit earlier, right? This person likes to sleep in, likes to really kind of soak in the last hours of their day or their morning, and then they get up and they go right to work, or they go right into kids because the kids just got up. I mean, it's like, you never have been around that morning person. P.S. I'm that morning person. But I don't mean to be it, by the way. But you wake up and they're like, good morning, and you're like, whoa, bro. Like, I literally just woke up, right? It's like that, right? So, if you want to get better at getting up a little bit earlier, right? I'll tell you this, before I, decided to do that, right? Because that was kind of like, it wasn't me waiting to the last minute, but a little bit. But it wasn't enough time in the morning that I was getting up that I was having enough time for me, okay? To be honest, right? I would get up and it would be just kind of jump right into morning routine, maybe be right to kind of somewhat to work. And now I've decided, right, I've made a commitment with myself that I'm going to get up like 2 hours prior till I really ever have to be anywhere. Okay, 2 hours prior till I have to be anywhere. And sometimes on a regular average, it's actually 3 hours prior till I ever have to be anywhere, do anything. And really what that's done is it's helped me to fit in a little bit more in the morning, really work on some things that I want to work on, allow me to accomplish some tasks that I've really wanted to work on. But that's just an example, right? That's another example, right? Another sharpening your axe thing could be, I want to make sure that I eat enough during the day, right? Let's say that I'm just not getting enough fuel in my body, right? Let's say you're that guy or that girl, right, that just forgets to eat, right? They're busy with their day. They're super productive. They've got so much on their list and they forget to eat, which is totally understandable and it makes total sense because that's the thing, you guys, that when we get going, right? Our sympathetic nervous system, and there's parasympathetic nervous system, but the sympathetic nervous system is like your flight and fight, your fight and flight, right? So it's like you're just going. And as you're going and you're reacting and you're doing stuff, like your hunger, right, is absent, right? Like you're in a stressed state. Why would you be thinking, I'm hungry, right? Well, what we need to do is we need to kind of somewhat get out of that and take the time to nurture ourselves, nurture our bodies, nurture our energy. So you get up and you make your breakfast. You get up and you have your lunch made. You get up, I guess you get up, but you have your dinner set, right? You just have it like timed out. Like my wife, Katie, right? She'll have her full meal plan lined up. So she knows at this time she's eating, and then at this time she's eating, and at this time she's eating. And she'll have her meals already pre-made so that she doesn't have to go through the, I gotta go make my lunch, or I gotta go make my snack, or I gotta make my, because that's really what it comes down to. It comes down to it's not convenient to go and stop and go get something to eat right now, right? Because you're in the mood, in the movement of doing things right now. So, planning that out. So that's another thing of ways you can sharpen your axe. Another way you can sharpen your axe, you guys, is taking care of yourself, meaning self-care. So if you've been around me enough, you've heard me enough, you've been following me long enough, you know that self-care is like my number one. You start working with me, self-care is your number one that we're going to start working on, because once we can identify the value of you, right? And then how important it is to really invest in you, right? So that's kind of like the big thing when I talk about anybody or talk to anyone that I work with, is that you are so important that your self-care needs to be a priority, right? As much as it needs to be in your calendar every single day, right? My most successful clients, you guys, you'll open up their calendar and they'll see when are they doing their workout, when are they eating, when are they gonna take a break, when are they gonna go on their walk or their run. Like that's scheduled. Like you're making a schedule, a calendar schedule with you, right? So if me going to the dentist on Monday morning is so important, it's like at 12 o'clock, dentist appointment. If that's so important, then so would your fitness, right? If you're going to have a meeting with somebody, you're going to put that in your calendar, right? Because you're going to meet with Tony, right? That's going to be in your calendar. And here's the thing. You are so important enough to put you in your own calendar. You open up your calendar and you're like, oh yeah, 9 o'clock, I'm working out. Or 6 a.m., I'm working out. Or whatever I'm saying about all of that. So those are just some brief ideas about what's to sharpen your axe. So, if you're following this, I'd love to hear, how is a way that you can sharpen your axe? Like, type it down. I mean, the fact that you're going to put it in a public forum, right? That's a huge thing that you're going to say. What do you need to get better at, right? I'd say this to all you men out there. This is a strong character trait of a male, to admit that you don't know everything, that you don't have it all figured out, that you need help, right? That's one thing that I really, really enjoyed training with gals is they are so quick to let me know of what they aren't really good at and that they are wanting help, right? You got it, Lauren. We're on this. We're on this. Is they're really quick to admit what they need to get better at because there's no pride lost, right? For whatever reason in the male kind of like world is dudes are not okay to say that they don't know stuff. It's like they're lacking, which is so untrue, by the way. Jenny, schedule my self-care. Let's do it. Put it in that calendar. Take a screenshot, Jenny, and send it to my my direct message in my messenger and show me where is it at in your schedule today. All right? Once you figure it out. So with guys, right, this is the big thing. Gentlemen, we need to be so open and available to let us be vocal about shortcomings. It's okay. And you know what? It's actually a strength rather than a weakness. And for whatever reason, we were taught that men don't cry, men don't say sorry, men don't admit when they're wrong, men don't say they have weaknesses. And so what do? I'm going on a complete different tangent right now. But what do is that we posture, right? You kind of puff your chest out. You posture like, I've got it all together, when in deep, real life, you're broken as crap inside, right? I speak from experience. So, gentlemen out there, right? Sharpen your axe. Ladies, let's sharpen our axe. So again, let's go down. You guys comment below. I love it that Lauren and Jenny chimed in, like the ways they can sharpen their axe. You noticed how I was talking about previous, that gals are really open and willing to be vulnerable. Gentlemen, what do you guys need to sharpen your axe about, right? What do you need to get better at, you know? Some of you guys just need to be better husbands. Some of you guys need to be better dads. Some of you guys just need to be present, you know? Some of you guys just really need to start taking care of you, right? You're such a family man. I honor that. I respect that you go to work all day long. You take care of your wife. You take care of your kids. But you're last on the totem pole. And I'll tell you the shortcoming of that whole game plan is when you do that, you're compromising the longevity, the legacy that you're creating. Because if you don't take care of you can't actually take care of your family if you're not there, right? And again, like, I'm again talking in the big picture, like you gotta be thinking like 90, 95 years old, 100 years old, right? What is the life that you want to live? Do you want to be independent? Do you want to be strong? Do you want to be helping your friends that didn't take care of themselves when you had the time now? Because what will eventually happen, you guys, is that something medically will happen. It will radically shift your life, and then you'll have to adjust. And what happens is, why not get on your health right now? Why not sharpen your axe right now? So ladies and gentlemen, on a Monday morning, I want to know, how are you going to sharpen your axe? What do you need to get better at? And I'll tell you this, you guys, the more you understand the areas that you need to strengthen, the more strength overall, the stronger your foundation will be on who you are. And then it gives you the ability to actually help more people also. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate you tuning in, my man. So as you guys kick off your Monday, right? Again, remember, sharpen your axe. How can you sharpen your axe? What can you start? Thanks, Jill. Appreciate it. So today, what is one thing that you could get better at? One thing you can strengthen. One thing that could radically change your life if you get it captured now. All right, everybody. Have a great Monday. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.